Happy Friday. Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast.
We're always dancing a little to that song.
Well, why wouldn't you? It's kind of catchy.
It's a good song.
Good little ditty.
Yes, Friday version, Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast. Thank you for being here. Please feel free to like, follow, love.
Share.
Yeah, all those things.
Yes, we would love that.
We can grow our little podcast into something more, right? Now, I was unaware yesterday when we were asking you your robot names.
Yes.
Robot vacuum names. I missed one.
You did miss one. I'm like, why didn't you say this one? This one's so good.
Because it didn't show up on my feed. I don't know why.
Because it had the B scratch word in it.
It has the B scratch word in it. But so you're not left out, Ed, when we asked you what is the name for your, Roomba, your robot vacuum. Ed said it's called Vacuum Bitch. Sorry, but that's the name. We did ask, right?
And he named Alexa, and Alexa is named Kitchen Bitch.
There you go.
Finally, Ed, I like it a lot.
I like that he says, I worked on a crew where we named all of our tools. The wire strippers were named Giggles. The wire strippers were named Giggles.
I love it.
All right.
I love it. Last night.
Yeah, I want to hear about this.
I had Riley, my oldest daughter, come over. Mm-hmm. So me and Macy, my youngest daughter, and Riley all had dinner together. And then I'm like, okay, we have a project. And Riley was like, I didn't know I was coming over to do project and work.
That's how it works.
I'm like, you're not. It's not going to be work. This is going to be fun.
Okay.
I brought down all their school stuff, like all the crap that I had saved. I had like 3 bins of crap.
Right.
And
crap.
It wasn't crap. It was one of those things. I mean, if you're a parent, you know, because it's like, what am I supposed to save and what am I not? Because when they're a famous artist and when they're a famous performer and when they're a famous writer, you want to have like options to give to the press to say this is when they first started.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So what did you have?
So we had all kinds of things. We had so much fun going through it, and this was funny to me. I don't know, my kids too. They laughed.
Okay, good.
So Riley is like, Mom, how did you even let me turn this into school? And I said, I think that you did it in class and turned it in because I've never even seen this before.
What was it?
It was a little writing and a picture. And the writing said, my dad ignores my mom and me. He watches too much TV.
Wow. From the mouths of babes,
right?
Wow. Well,
my dad, who is her dad, my now ex-husband.
Why does my dad ignore my mom?
Maybe they know something.
Wow. Well, eventually it caught up, right? Jeez. I think that's funny. It's so sad, but it's funny.
We had some really, really, really good laughs and realizations because, as you know, your person now, like them, they know their person now from when they were little. Mm-hmm. They saw insights to their... Riley kept saying, oh, foreshadowing, you think? Anyway, it was a good time.
It was a good time, so I'm happy to hear that.
Oh, Curt.
Guess what happens today?
What?
Olympics get underway.
That's right. At 10:30 Seattle time. We're broadcasting from Seattle Broadcasting.
Coast, right.
At 10:30 is when the opening ceremonies start. They're televised, of course.
Right.
You're going to see Snoop Dogg and Celine Dion. Yeah.
That's actually, Snoop Dogg Celine Dion is going to sing a song that she's been paid $2 million to sing. But she is France, right? I mean, although she's from
pretty
Canada,
awesome,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got that, the Snoop Dogg, the second to last stretch, I understand, of the torch carrying is what he's going to be.
Yeah, he's second to last. Second to last torch carrier.
That's probably so he didn't have to get up too early.
Maybe.
He's like, I'll do it, but I can't get up before 10.
And Curt, you're such a boy. You found this dirty Olympics, I feel like. Olympic words.
There needs to be a qualifier here that you said, I said, we can't do this because you're going to giggle at everything.
And then you said, that's why we're doing it, because you're going to giggle at everything.
And I said, can you possibly not giggle? And what did you say?
No, I said no. And
All
you
right.
said, okay, we're doing this story.
The Olympics get underway today, and here are funny and innocent terms you're bound to hear at some point during the Olympics that might sound a bit suggestive.
Dirty.
All right. Okay, no giggling.
Let me just say the first one, shuttlecock.
All right, that's from badminton.
Yep.
Okay.
I do.
Say the next one.
Clean and jerk. I don't even know what that is. What's clean and jerk?
It's from weightlifting.
What part is it?
It's a 2-part lift. They first pick it up to their shoulders and then overhead. So clean. So that's, I don't know. Clean is this one and jerk is the next, I suppose.
Because you jerk.
I would say I jerk with all of
my
it.
Shoulder. Crap.
Now you have to call.
Oh my God, that hurt my shoulder.
And you didn't even have a weight in your hand.
I do have physical therapy appointment for my shoulder. It's really been bugging me.
Okay. Also on the list of innocent Olympic terms that may sound suggestive, Jen?
Snatch. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was I know snatch, but I don't know it in the athletic world.
You're not giggling, but you are smiling broadly.
What is it?
Another weightlifting move. I guess that's the barbell is lifted from the ground overhead in one smooth action.
Oh, versus
so all the way
clean
up.
And jerk is this one.
Don't do your arms.
This one's shoulder. All the way up.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't hurt yourself. Hooking is another weightlifting term, or what some people do for a job.
It's not an Olympic event, though.
Who knows? With the way things are going, it may be.
Right.
That's when a weightlifter covers their thumb with the other finger so they can grip the bar. Okay.
So it's a lot. These weightlifters are dirty.
Yeah. What's the last one?
This one's, breaststroke. But the word breast is in there.
Yeah.
You said breast.
I don't... See, I said let's not talk about that one because that's...
Well, I mean, if you're going to say them, you got to include the boobs.
So of the 4 types of strokes in swimming, there's the breaststroke, butterfly, backstroke, and freestyle. So
yes.
Now... Maybe you learned something a little bit as far as that.
I do have a question. What's your favorite Olympic sport to watch in the summertime?
Oh, man. You just qualified it because I love the Winter Olympics. There's a lot to watch there. In the summertime, Summer Olympics or whatever, probably don't be gross, but probably gymnastics. I just think it's amazing.
Oh, no. That's mine.
Amazing
gymnastics.
What they can do.
Gymnastics, and I actually am excited to watch breaking.
Oh, the breakdancing,
and I also really like to watch the skateboarding.
There you go.
Because they can do amazing things. I mean, right. I'm like, a what?
I think we mentioned this the other day, or I was not on the show, but I think how dudes do the parallel bars. No, the rings. Is beyond me. That, it's like they're...
I couldn't do that with my shoulder for sure now. I
don't think if I had my hands like this, I don't think I'd even dangle there with my, like...
Yeah, you would.
No.
But you wouldn't be able to do... The tricks those are hard. They have a lot of strength.
Yes. I'm just going to make my body into a T. Here we go.
And just hang from bars.
And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to lift my legs straight out. Nothing to see here. Jeez. So, yeah, again, Olympics start today. 10 o'clock? Did you say 10:30?
10:30. And I cry, by the way, because they do those little vignettes.
It is nice. Ugh. But they're not going to be walking in like they usually do. They're going to be in boats on the Seine.
I love it.
So, all right, there we go.
Okay.
How about this? We talked about this yesterday to think on. You couldn't really suggest on it, but Jen had this great tease of we're going to talk about intimate acts that have nothing to do with sex that you can do with and or for your partner.
Here's the deal. The word intimacy and sex are often used interchangeably. Mm-hmm. And sex can be a type of intimacy, but there's so many things that you can do to bring you and your partner closer, to things that will have a big impact on your relationship in a positive way.
It'll lead to greater intimacy in your relationships. And none of these are like complicated or earth-shattering. But people were asked, which acts they believe have the power to deepen a couple's bond, besides that aren't related to sex.
Here's what they said.
Go.
Quietly doing something your partner will appreciate with no prompting whatsoever.
Right. And also...
And no expectation for any kind of I got credit for that.
Hey, look, I cleaned out the fridge for you.
Yeah, but that's a good example, like cleaning out the fridge or putting their favorite song or album on without them asking, or bringing them a cup of coffee in the morning, which your wife does for you exactly the way you love it.
Exactly. That is a great one. Super, and it does help with the intimacy,
like just the bond that you have together.
One of the things they said was giving each other your undivided attention. Which I guess means you got to turn your phone off or put it in the other room.
Well, I would say there's tons of distractions in the world, so being able to give your partner undivided attention is huge. Locking arms, like that. I was like, really?
The story that went with that, the story was, the first time my wife ever made skin-to-skin contact, we were in a haunted house, and she latched her elbow into mine and hugged it tight. There's still something that feeling of honor, and that she trusts me to be there for her. Now,
and a place of safety, he said too, and that's important.
Now, you and I aren't and have never dated. However, when we went through the haunted house together, We went through, and it was the haunted morgue where we went like several years.
Yeah.
You would not go first.
No way. I hate haunted houses.
And you just had hands on hips or shoulders the whole time. And you're like, go, Curt, go, go.
Yeah, or like hiding either behind you or like this. No, I didn't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, so more of the things that are, maybe not intimate, but you can do with your partner that is special, making prolonged eye contact.
Yeah. There was a part of this little story that said, try looking in your partner's eyes for 2 minutes. No way. I couldn't.
I just did it for 2 seconds. You're not my partner, but it seems kind of creepy. But
it seems weird. Like, what?
Yeah. But this is from a relationship expert, right? Amy Chan.
I looked her up. As soon as I read this, I looked it up because it says Amy Chan, relationship expert and founder of Renew Breakup Boot Camp. I'm like, come on, is that really a thing? Is there a boot camp for breakups? Mm-hmm. Yes, there is. And if you're going through a breakup, any kind of breakup, like even a divorce, any kind of breakup, go check her out. I'm serious. There's so many good things there. She does a podcast. She has a newsletter, and she actually has a boot camp. There's a wait list for it. But I think that would be so therapeutic to be in a room full of other people going through the same thing you are, and these experts letting you know, first of all, that it's okay feeling all the feels, and here's how to get over it. Anyway, we digress, but I wanted people to know about that because it's amazing.
And these are intimate acts that have nothing to do with sex that you can do with and or for your partner. Some other ones that they had to send the daily text to check in. I think both,
that's huge.
Your boyfriend and my wife, and we were always like, hey, how's your day going? Love you, which is great.
Yeah. I appreciate that so much because it just says, you know what, I'm thinking about you, and you know their day's busy and they're really busy and they take time to check in.
Picking up each other's jokes when no one else does. I love that. If you're in a room full of people and you say like a zinger and everybody's like, oh, okay.
Nobody or nobody even hears it really because everyone.
You can look at
your partner heard you.
Like, yeah, man. Writing a song for your partner is one.
Okay, you're a music guy. Mm-hmm. Have you done that for Dana?
No, I've not yet. In fact, I've never written a song for a girlfriend in a good relationship. I just write songs after we've broken up.
Oh, that's very Alanis of you.
Very Alanis of me.
And Taylor of you.
Yeah. So other things you can do, it says sitting in comfortable silence.
Yeah, I think it's more about like if you can do that, it's not like you have to fill the time, right? You feel comfortable enough just to be with each other and not have to say a word.
That is nice.
Taking a bubble bath together, creating a pre-meal ritual, which I was like, Curt, do you and Dana do that?
What is pre-meal ritual, this person says, whenever we eat, we usually toast with our utensils or whatever we're eating with. So with a fork,
chopsticks, whatever the case might be.
That's their
kind of cool.
Being their human pillow.
I have my spot. I have a parking spot on Pat's chest right here at night. It's my spot.
Right.
When I hug him, it's my spot.
You realize you're calling him fat.
No, oh my God.
My turn to finally go there.
Right.
Yeah.
Does Dana do that with you?
Sure, of course.
She has her spot.
Yes.
Maybe I don't want to know her spot. Okay.
Doing something goofy in front of each other is considered an intimate act that does not involve sex. Making small, thoughtful gestures on the regular. Giving your partner frequent affirmations or acknowledgement. I think that's fantastic.
Or making their special treat, their favorite treat, or planning a special date. Just all those little things add up. I leave little notes for Pat on little sticky notes and hide them. So
the final thing somebody suggested was poking fun at each other in a good-natured way. I have to be careful about this.
Yeah, because that can go too far and hit home a little bit too much. Like, oh,
well, and she'll.
So you do think I'm fat?
No, but with Dana specifically, sometimes she'll say, "No joking around. We need to talk about this." Or, we're planning a trip. She's like, "Take this seriously," and I was like,
"You can't."
I have a very hard time with not being the
jokester,
the radio dude. So
if we're missing anything on the list or you have something, I want to know about it. Like, send us a quick little message. Like, oh, this is what me and my partner do as a way to bond together.
Exactly, and it doesn't have anything to do with sex. It doesn't have to. In fact, that's what we're looking for: is things that don't actually involve sex for this. All right. You know what today is?
No. Well, besides the first day of the Olympics, it's Friday.
There is that. It's also Aunt and Uncle Day. Do you say aunt or aunt?
I say aunt.
Okay. I guess I just always said aunt to...
But aunt is really...
differentiate it from the animals.
If you're looking at the letters in the English language and the rules, which are always broken...
It is Aunt and Uncle Day, supposed to celebrate all aunts and uncles and the impact they have on kids, all right? Which is often a big impact. Are you an aunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
I am not. Now, people probably know this. We've talked about it before. Both my parents were only children, so no relatives there.
Okay.
And
all of your siblings, they don't have kids, right?
They don't have kids either. So there's me and my two younger sisters. The whole family, since my mom has passed, is dad.
It's not too late to make them an aunt or uncle. Curt?
Let's move on with what we have here in front of us.
It would be so fun.
For you. So they did, so again, happy aunts and uncles, you're awesome. But Pew Research did a poll on the top reasons people don't have kids. They don't have kids.
Okay.
All right? And there, like you just did, there is pressure. It's like, especially on young people that just got married.
Yeah,
when are you going to have
sure,
kids? So this poll that Pew Research did on saying, why do you not have kids? And for some people, they cannot, and that's sad.
Yes.
Right? But this is like, some of the big reasons where I want to focus on other things. I don't want to have kids because of concerns about the state of the world. We've all said that, but there's no point when it's going to be perfect.
Well, your hope here's the hope is that if you do have kids, that you're raising kids to make the world a better place.
Right. People say concerns about the environment.
Okay.
Or maybe that's how long is the
plan.
I haven't found the right partner. Negative experiences with their own family growing up.
I don't really like kids.
1 in 5 only. So, that's pretty small. That's 20%. 1 in 5 people said, I don't really like children.
That's legit. If you and self-awareness before you go down that road is good one.
It's a pretty big decision to make. My spouse or partner doesn't want kids was another reason. But the number one reason that people say that they don't have kids, I just don't really want kids. That was 60%.
There's just not really a reason. It's just not really a reason. I just don't want them.
60% of people who don't plan to have children said, I just, don't really want kids. And I think I'm not that way. I was just like, okay, when the time is right. Dana, this is our second marriage for each of us. Neither of us had kids from the first marriage. And I guess I thought at some point I would have this, okay, I want to do this, or let's do this. And that just never really happened for me.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you'd mind sharing why on yours and Dana's side.
Yeah.
Is that the same for Dana? Have you guys talked about that? Is that the same for her?
Yeah, I think that she was more about it than I was. But by the time we met, we got married when I was 50. And I know that's not too old. People
for guys, you can
Tony Randall, blah blah blah.
You got the baby batter to go anytime.
So yeah, but now she's also at an age where it gets riskier, and
not impossible though. If you decide you can change your mind, that's the great thing about life.
Well, how about these reasons that people said not having kids makes my life easier? Top answers were life is more affordable, more time for hobbies and interests. It's easier to save for retirement. You can focus on your career, and it makes more room for a more active social life. And I think
all of those things true. And
right,
if you decide to have a child, that it also can be very rewarding and fulfilling.
That's true. I different strokes, I guess I would say.
For sure. But
the thing that I find about, as I'm reading this, I think people think it's kind of selfish of you when you say, well, I want to prioritize my job or my social life or,
Don't be judgy.
I'm not being judgy.
No, I know you're not. I'm just putting that out there as a general statement. I think it's hard for us not to be judgy, but it's not our business. I just like to encourage you. That's all.
Because you want to have a baby to play with.
And I'll throw a great baby shower.
Okay.
And I will help however I can.
Look, the music started. That means we're done. We're getting played off by our own music. All right, this one is fun.
I can't. I read this headline. I'm like, I don't even want to go here, Curt. So because it's ridiculous. But tell me more.
The Supreme Court ruling. I didn't want to read the headline. So if you go to order boneless chicken wings, you're not actually getting wings like from a bird.
You're getting nuggets.
Yeah.
Right.
In Ohio, it turns out that boneless chicken wings don't have to be boneless. Now, yes. So if you're getting chicken wings. It's how does
this even make sense? But why call it boneless? Why call it boneless chicken wings when there's freaking bones in it?
Here's the deal. A man in Ohio ordered a boneless wings at a restaurant. One of them did have a bone in it. Okay, this guy ended up choking on it, got an infection, and had to have 2 surgeries because he choked on this boneless chicken wing that had bones in it. So he sued the restaurant owners, the chicken suppliers, and the processors, of course. And the case made it all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court. There was a divided 4-3 decision. It says here the conservative-leaning court ruled that boneless chicken can have bones. The majority said boneless chicken wings is a cooking style. It's not a guarantee. Just as a person eating chicken fingers would know that they're not actually being served fingers, although chicken wings are actually chicken wings. I was mistaken. I didn't phrase that correctly at the beginning. But yeah, if you order chicken fingers and they're not actually fingers, can you sue because you wanted actual human fingers? Anyway,
well, if you're ordering chicken fingers, you're probably not expecting human fingers. You're expecting chicken fingers, and chickens don't have fingers. So
all right,
that's ridiculous.
That was what how they ruled was that okay, the chicken fingers aren't actually fingers, but to me, if you were so if you said chicken wings and it wasn't actually wings, I suppose you could argue that. But you're saying specifically it's boneless. What if you're allergic to bones? You're not, but I mean, people with allergies.
But here's the thing. If you're ordering a meat product, sometimes you might get some of the, nasties in there.
Right. Salmon almost always going to have a bone here or there. So it's not like
they're serving boneless chicken wings and they actually have the bones in there. You know what I mean? Like there's not intentional bones in there. It's
accidental bones.
Yes. Sometimes that just happens. And if you don't want to take any of those risks, then go kill your own meat and figure it out, do it all yourself.
Well, I mean, it was unfortunate this guy had all these problems.
For sure, and that's terrible. There's no question about it. But he didn't, it's probably one of those little tiny sliver bones that just gets, sometimes it's like you said in salmon, right?
Mm-hmm,
you buy a fillet of salmon it's been filleted, but sometimes there's still bones in it.
You try to debone it. Well, back to the Supreme Court in Ohio, they argued that bones are natural to meat, so consumers should expect them to be prepared, and if they encounter them, they should expect them to be prepared if they encounter them. No one is liable if boneless wings have bones.
Okay, that makes more sense. I just read the headline that boneless wings can have bones, and I'm like, what?
That's
now, this context makes more sense.
All right.
It's Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Fact Friday.
So I was dinner last night, conversation at the table. Riley just all of a sudden, because she's a sciencey, mathy girl, and she loves all these
fun facts.
Sciencey ones. And she's like, "Did you know you can't feel wetness, Mom?" I'm like, "What?"
And as soon as you said that to me, but it turns out because we looked at it. Did she explain it as well last night?
Yes.
It's like your skin can pick up a lot of sensations. Heat. And cold and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So temperature, pain, of course. Yes. But apparently there are no receptors to feel wetness. The only reason you know that your hands are wet is your brain's like, oh, I'm looking at my hands and they're wet.
Well, and she explained it too. It's like more of the texture. You're feeling the texture. It's a texture difference.
Right. If you touch against something, but I think if you're just standing there with your hands and looking at them, I don't know. But here's the deal. The brain tells us something is wet. We don't have receptors for wetness in our skin as we do, for example, temperature or pain. For instance, like if you sit down on a metal chair with bare skin, you might feel, oh, that's wet when it's really just the cold, Okay. Or they said if you put on latex gloves, you put your hand in water, you take it out again, you'll probably feel like your hands are wet because your brain is tricking you. But we don't actually feel. She's right. Riley is correct. You don't actually feel wetness on your skin.
Well, I didn't believe it. And then Macy, my youngest, she said, Macy, fact check. And I'm like, oh, yeah, fact check it. Yeah. And Macy's like, she's right. Here it is. Yeah. And then Riley said you can make water wetter.
Okay.
That's just adding molecules or some. She's a smart little nugget.
I don't need my water to be any wetter, but thank you for that. Other fun facts from Jen.
Baby porcupines are known as porcupets. Porcupets? Yeah, porcupets.
Not like pets like your dog is a pet, but
ETTES.
So look at that little porcupet. Oh,
France is the most visited country in the world.
France, and especially now with the Olympics in Paris, France, the most visited country in the world.
This is a good one. Sloths can move 3 times faster in the water than they can on land.
Did you know that I'm a sloth fan?
Have you watched that movie? Is it Zootopia? What is that? What's the one where they go to the Department of Licensing and it's the sloth that's working at the counter?
It may be Zootopia.
And everything goes, it's funny.
Well, two years ago, we got a calendar, and you get your calendar. Okay, what are we going to have? Is it going to be
You got
Seahawks?
Sloths?
There was a sloth calendar. Sloths
nice.
And baby
I like
sloths.
it.
They're pretty cool. How about
this is good.
This one you found. Amelia Earhart and Eleanor Roosevelt once snuck out of a White House event. They commandeered an airplane and went on a joyride to Baltimore.
That's a fun girls' trip.
I suppose when you're the first lady, like, you know what?
Spontaneous.
You're like,
We're blowing this popsicle stand. Let's go for a
get out
ride.
of here. Come on, we're going to get out of here. This one you found, and I was like, I'd heard that before, but I didn't believe it was true, that the national animal...
The national animal of Scotland is a unicorn.
Yep. You
It's
probably wouldn't
true?
think that... Well, it's a... Since it is a mythical creature, you probably wouldn't think it could be any country's national animal, but this is true. The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn. Yep.
Okay. Despite its name, the strawberry isn't a true berry. That's true?
Neither is a raspberry or a blackberry. But the banana is a berry. And again, here's the science. I'm not going to say it. Scientifically speaking, banana is a berry, eggplants are a berry, grapes and oranges are all berries. But raspberry, blackberry, strawberry, not berries.
Why? Because of the seeds?
I just told you, I don't want to get into the science of it. Because I don't know. It has to do with, I think it has to do with their grown, is it because they're grown underground or on ground or...
Well, then why the heck would we call them a berry?
Listen, we've got people listening that can say this is why, because we're actually too lazy to Google.
Okay.
All right?
Human beings are the only animals confirmed to cry tears in response to emotions.
I see that that's true. I don't believe it, though, because I think that doggies...
Cry? But cry tears?
I know that they don't, but I would swear that they do. So, all right.
I love this one. Lego has an underground vault with every set ever made. Which makes sense, right? Because you're preserving all of the creations.
Legos were a little bit... Did you play with Legos as a kid or not?
No, no.
Because
I mean, I think I played with some of them, but they are mega now.
Right.
Like
No,
my
they came
kids,
around, I think, when we were mid kids, you know?
My kids had... and still do have so many Legos. Riley and Macy still love to build Lego sets.
We had
They're
the fun.
expensive too.
We had the fun of Lincoln Logs,
I played with Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toys.
which are also, you know, if you get into an argument with your sister, you can throw those.
Okay, here's our last one.
Wisdom teeth serve no purpose.
This is the interesting thing to me. They're left over from hundreds of thousands of years ago as early humans' brains grew bigger. That reduced the space in the mouth, crowding out the third set of molars.
There you
because
go.
we have bigger brains. That's why we don't need them.
So why are they called wisdom teeth if we don't need them? That doesn't sound very wise.
They are taken over by wisdom, like the brain.
Are you sticking with that? Is that your story and you're sticking
Yeah.
to it? Okay.
I mean, I made it up, but I like it.
It works. Okay.
If you live in the Seattle area, I forgot we had a little music to go with that. If you live in the Seattle area,
Things that are going on for the weekend.
Yes, this is big. This is a big weekend. Alaska Airlines Seafair Torchlight Parade tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say.
3 to 6. It's on 4th Avenue. That's where it starts and goes all through the 4th Avenue down there. So, you know what there's not this year is the Torchlight Run.
It's on hiatus, but it's going to come back next year.
Yeah, that was also
That
big
was
deal.
huge. That was huge. It was like the Torchlight Run and then the parade. And I think it's interesting. The parade actually used to be at night.
That's why they call it Torchlight.
But I wonder, just because of how Seattle is now, if it's safer to have it during the day.
Well, as long as I've been attending the parade, so since 2001 with the radio station,
Has it been during the day?
I thought it was morning or afternoon. Yeah. I don't know how long. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different parade.
Renton River Days tomorrow and Sunday. The
They
parade
have a
is
parade.
tomorrow, and it is during the day.
That's
It's
gonna be
like
going on.
morning-ish.
In Bellevue, the Arts Fair goes on, starts today, goes through Sunday if you're an artsy person.
There's the Arts Fair and the Arts Festival. It all seems like it's one big one, but there's two separate ones. And it's a big fair. I mean, if you're into art, definitely go.
There in Bellevue. And
Go
finally,
Hawks!
Seahawks training camp starts today. I had never considered, but you know, I've seen the people going down there and
People go.
you know, checking it out.
Get
and
autographs.
and
Yep.
whatnot. So that's never
Fun.
been me. This is a fantastic weekend for
Mega.
a movie. I've been waiting for this one because, you know, I'm
Me
a huge
too.
Deadpool fan.
Yeah.
So Deadpool and Wolverine opens. Maybe it opened last night, like for midnight showings. I don't know, but it opens this weekend. You know, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds. So Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. This is the third movie in the Deadpool franchise. It is rated R, but the trailers are hilarious. Lots of F-bombs. But
As there
the
should
trailer
be.
is very funny. And
Yep.
there's a long list of cameos for this movie. People were excited. Do you remember when there was rumors that because Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake Lively are friends with Taylor Swift, very close friends, that maybe Taylor would be making an appearance in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Blake Lively and Taylor are
tight. So now this is a bit of a spoiler alert. This is the only cameo we're going to tell you about, and there's a bunch. But Taylor is not in it. She was rumored that she'd be playing the female version of Deadpool, but indeed it's going to be
Blake Lively.
So
don't you think that's more appropriate?
Yeah,
I like it.
And I don't think we see Blake. She's voicing the character. We never actually see her face.
I think you see her hair though.
Right.
Her blonde hair.
Yeah, in her Deadpool outfit.
What? Tell me more about. There's other movies coming out besides that one.
Yeah, that's and unfortunately, if you want to see the Fabulous Four, that seems like a First Wives Club type of movie.
Three friends go to Key West to reunite with an old college friend.
Yeah.
Played by Bette Midler.
Yeah, and they get asked to be bridesmaids in a surprise wedding. So you've got Susan Sarandon, Megan Mullally, Shirley Lee Ralph, and Bette Midler.
That's going to be cute.
That would be fun.
My mom will go see that one, I bet.
And this one, which I know you're totally want to go see.
The Beast Within, a psychological thriller.
Starring Kit Harington as a werewolf.
Thank you. No.
All right.
I'm out. Out for that one.
Talk about that one anymore.
I don't want to do that one.
Okay.
But Deadpool and Wolverine, yes, please.
There you go. So Monday, do we need music for this? Okay, we'll do. I feel like we need a change the subject for this.
This is all about Curt on this one.
Oh, it also is about you. We're going to explain
I don't
why.
Like this.
For Monday, what we want to know, and we'll post this up on social media and everything. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke.
You have done karaoke.
Not okay. I will just say I have not done a solo performance of karaoke ever in my whole life, and this is what I always say: you are welcome. You're welcome that I have not.
Just because you're not an Adele level singer doesn't mean you're a bad singer.
Listen, even Pat, firefighter boyfriend Pat, says he loves that I will sing because I know the words to the songs, but it is not on key.
Right.
And my girls, they don't hesitate. They're like, Mom, you're not even singing it right.
Well, further, you should also admit that you don't know all the words of the songs. You know the words that you make up.
I think I know all the words to the song.
That's right. What's the class? Oh, what we used to play on the radio.
Love.
100% Pure Love by Crystal Waters. You're like, 100% love. Like, did you say love? Isn't that what it is? Love. All right. So for Monday, your go-to karaoke song. I will share mine then as well. But please leave them on this platform, any platform. We want to know your go-to karaoke song. Thank you in advance.
And also thank you for listening and letting us be part of your day.
Absolutely,
we love that. That's our goal, is to be able to be part of your daily routine for like 30 minutes and then on with your day, on with your favorite kind of music that you like to listen to, your favorite, even your favorite radio station. Go back to that. But we love that you're spending time with us.
Thank you very much for that.
Have a great weekend. Make some great memories. Make good choices. Find joy and spread kindness.